Okay, so you've got big games coming up this weekend and getting near the end of the season. So really, you need to be really mentally strong to cope with any added pressure that can come at this, especially at this stage of the season. And you know, and all champions know, the importance of mental strength when you're playing football. Beth Mead, for example, she's well known for her outlook on mental health, mental strength. She's often talking about it in the media because there's so many ups and downs. The pressure, having to cope with these things in the tough moments. It doesn't just happen. You really, really need to work on it. Lionel Messi, another one. He's quoted as saying, football is played in the head. Your feet are just the tools. You can be the most skillful player in the world, but unless you're calm under pressure, without that mental strength, you're not going to play your best. So how do you do it? What actually is mental toughness? What mental strength? Because it's easy to talk about it, but actually, what does that even mean? How can you do it? So basically, it's being able to avoid the distractions, not let those distractions get the better of you. And a distraction can be anything. Playing a team in a lower position than you, playing a tough cup game where you know the opposition are going to be on you, dodgy pitch, could be play it in football, you make a loose pass, your players aren't passing to you particularly well, the umpire's making bad decisions, the team, the opposition support is really loud, really getting the better of you, really getting to you, a mistake that you've made. So all these can be distractions because they take your mind away. You go down that path of what you're thinking, instead of focusing on yourself, on your body, what you're doing, what your feet are doing, the play, what your teammates are saying, how you're communicating. So the mental strength is being able to just focus on you and your football, regardless of everything else. Because especially under pressure, especially this time of the season when you really want to win, even that can be a distraction because you're focusing on really wanting to win. You don't want to focus on really wanting to win. How do you win? By playing good football. So you need to focus on the football. So your mental strength needs to be rock solid, especially when the pressure's on, because when our stress levels are a bit higher, we're feeling a bit more pressure, it's easier these other thoughts, these distractions, to be closer to the surface, closer to the forefront of our mind. So being able to block it out, whatever that thought is about how unfair the situation is, how frustrating it is, how you're not playing your best game, your teammates aren't playing their best, the opposition are really coming at you hard. It's being able to block out that noise and think, right, we can focus on that later. We can focus on that, other voice that could be in your head telling you it's not worth it, they're really good, might as well give up, I'm not playing well. Just parking that, deal with that later, but focusing on your football, because that is something you can do something about. It's not letting the pressure get to you when you normally would, when you, say, gone a goal down. And you then suddenly feel like you're rushing on the ball, you're feeling a bit more panicking on the ball, or you're questioning your decision making. When you're mentally tough, when you're mentally strong, you're able to ignore the score and just play freely and easily, trust yourself. And it could easily be if it's 0-0. And actually having that drive, having that motivation to play really well in that moment. So not waiting until you go a goal down before you start playing your absolute best. Okay, so it's all very well saying this, but how, in fact, do you get this mental toughness? So, several different aspects to it and ways it can come about, and ways you can develop it. It's not just one, and some of us might be better at some of the others as well. So, first of all, self-belief. You have to have rock solid belief in yourself that you can play your game no matter what. And the harder the game is, the tougher the situation, the more self-belief you need. Because this is when your opposition are coming at you hard, or when you're not playing well, or when things aren't going your way. You need to use that toughness instead to fuel that self-belief. So tell yourself, I can do this. know that you can really play your game, really be rock solid in this, when your mind thinks it's going to go off there, at bringing it back. Okay? Which brings me on to the next point, is switching off from the distractions that we spoke about earlier. Don't let them bother you. It's almost like you've got a guard up around you. So all that can be going on, but nothing is going to stop you from playing your football the way that you can play it. Okay? And communicating all the things that are important, because it's not a closed sport. It's not just, you do need to be able to see your teammates, see the runner play, listen to your coaches, listen to your other teammates, read the game, play, respond to what's going on. You want to respond in the right way, though. You don't want to react. It's that fight or flight response that we've talked about before. Are you going to fight, or are you going to flight? Are you going to fly? Are you going to go off? Is your mind going to go off down that other route? No, you want to stay here now and fight. Okay, so you want to switch off from those distractions. You can deal with them later. Okay, deal with them in the post-match reflection. Deal with them when you're talking to your coach. Deal with them when you're talking to your teammates later. Okay, not now, not while you're on the pitch. Then the situation that you're in. We all make mistakes. That's part of football. Refereeing, decisions going against you. It's how you internally experience it that's the issue. Okay, there could be an unfair decision. Yep, the referee might be missing that player who's been, just fouling you, just getting away with it all game and not giving you the benefits, not noticing, not pulling that player up on it. It's how you deal with it, because you getting upset about it and frustrated, probably nothing. Okay? This is when you need to become rock solid. Otherwise, if you start getting upset, your opposition is going to know, see you getting upset. I know if I saw a player getting upset and frustrated and emotional, I'd be targeting that player as the weak link. You don't want to be the weak link. You want them to think, no, whatever we're doing is not fazing this player. Okay? So are you going to let it distract you or not? So it's this rock solid mental toughness in these situations. So again, let's go back to, how do you do this? So you want to be able to, there are two ways, the way I work, there's two ways. So there's the stuff you can do off the pitch, okay, which is reprogramming your subconscious. Deal with all the things that are going to be eating away at your self-belief, eating away at your confidence, that stop you from concentrating, okay, that stop you from being able to let go of those distractions. Okay, you want to be able to do that work off the pitch, so that's where we use the EFT, the hypnosis, those sorts of subconscious, reprogramming your subconscious side things. The other part of this is the mindfulness, and this is, so when you've done the reprogramming of your subconscious, when you get on the pitch, you can automatically your self-belief is going to be higher. Automatically you're going to be able to block these things out without even trying. Another way you can do this is by mindfulness, and it's the art of learning this practice. It's like a muscle you can strengthen. Mindfulness is all about being in the present moment, okay? And it's a muscle that you can strengthen, a bit like you strengthen your quads, your hamstrings. They don't just get stronger by thinking about it. Oh, I need strong muscles, I need strong hamstrings. No, you have to train them. It's a bit like this mental strength muscle. You have to train it. And it's all about, when you're mindful, you know that your mind's going to go off in other directions, because it is, because we're people, that's what happens. Okay? But it's all about being able to bring it back. Okay? So you can strengthen that muscle by practicing the mindfulness off the pitch. So then when you're on the pitch, it's easy to do. It's easier to let go of that distraction, the crowd, the opposition, the referee, the mistake you've just made, because you know that you've trained your mind and can bring it back whenever you want, because you've practiced that muscle. Okay? So the more you practice it, the stronger it'll get. When you do this, you'll be able to remain composed, even when the pressures are against you, even when unfair decisions are made. It's the ability to be able to play confidently, even when you're losing, even when you've made mistakes. still going for your goals, never giving up, still knowing that you can win, still believing in yourself, still believing in your team, even when you're 3-0 down. It only takes a moment to score a goal. Okay? Believing in yourself even when you're not a goal down. Some of us we play better when we're the underdog. Okay, and we've talked about that in the post-match reflections. And that's not really helping us. I mean, it's great to be able to do, but you want to be able to play well from the beginning. You want to be able to, your confidence to be high, your concentration to be high, your energy to be high throughout, from, like I said before, from the whistle going at the beginning to the whistle going at the end, that finishing when you finished. Okay, that final whistle. And this doesn't mean you cover it up. You still use these things to fuel yourself, knowing that you can then take that upset, take what happened, what went wrong, your mistake, how you dealt with whatever it was, and take that and deal with it later in the post-match reflection, while you're talking to your coach, while you're discussing it with your teammates later. Okay, not on the pitch. That is not the time to be dealing with it. Okay. Hopefully that sounds good. In the next following videos, we're going to do a bit of mindfulness, practice strengthening that muscle. Okay. And we're going to do a bit of EFT tapping, letting go of some of those things that might be affecting and impacting your belief in yourself. So that you're not even coming onto the pitch with that full belief that you need. So make sure you watch the next videos to really start practicing these skills.